What's up, y'all? It's your guy, eBay Fight Predictions, and this is Fight Talk number 22. This is going to be your UFC 293 recap. We're going to be talking about all fighting and UFC 294 preview. But my God, Deshaun Strickland, 316 Sean, baby. We are in the Sean Strickland era, and he teaches Titty Boy Sanya respect in his home. Well, it's not his home country, but still where he resides at. Oh my God, in Australia, and the people were cheering for Sean. America, we got a second belt, baby. Ed, what do you
Yeah, how have you been? How have you been?
I've been great, man. I've been phenomenal.
Good mood. I'm telling you, bro. You gotta make that. You gotta make that a staple on your channel. The prayer vid, the American flag, the Hulkamania going wild,
Oh my
bro.
God,
Sean Strickland brought all of it. I swear.
I
And
swear, dude,
honest to God, like we've
my
seen two fucking upsets this year. Obviously, like we've just seen one this week, well last week, and then we saw one earlier in the year where we're gonna get a rematch this weekend in Grasso and
yeah,
Shevchenko, and you're like, wow, what a year it's actually been.
yeah.
So far.
They've actually given us really good. Oh yeah, shout out to Manel, man, fucking owning that fucking dog abuser. By the way, shout out to him. But yeah,
Bro.
man, this fucking week. I mean, these fights lined up, man. Like it's crazy. Like, do you want to like compare last year to this year? It's like it's not even a comparison to the pay-per-views we had
It's
to
hard.
endure.
It's hard
We
as
had
well,
to
though, isn't it?
fucking Grasso and Jaru as a fight night main event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I
God.
get you. We definitely had a rough patch earlier in the year, like around Mayish, when we were getting like Holly Holm and Bueno Silva and all that shit. But then
That was horrible. I forgot
they were
about that.
giving guys like a boost, like main fight nights and shit. But once we got through that, then obviously things picked up. Especially we picked up some momentum, especially in the middleweight division when Dricus obviously starched Robert Whitaker, and that kind of set the tone, I think, on
Yeah.
International Fight Week.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. I think
Bro,
just
that comments hurt me, bro.
I know, right? I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Someone even told me like they had like DM me was like you put way more work in that Aljo pack watch than you did for the Izzy one, and I'm like, yeah, that's
I,
kind of true because
I do
that
low
one was
key, yeah.
aggression towards Aljo.
Do you know what it is though? Obviously, it's because of what we discussed earlier in it off stream, but it's because of that I think. Because I think if he had done it with the Cubans, then it would have been a bit different.
Yeah, if I was a little more, I'm telling you guys, if I was a little
Bro,
more
5 minutes
sober.
in, 5 minutes in, the way FA was choking, bro, I thought it was like Israel Adesanya first round getting
Uh,
stomped.
I was like, bro, I was dying in that video, man. Never again we are bringing marijuana de mota to pack watch. We're gonna stick with cigars, but
Yeah,
Aljo losing was kind of better.
bro. Do you know?
Uh-huh.
It's weird saying because it's like I had to watch something bad to happen for a great evil to get like demolished. It's like I would take
Yeah.
Aljo lose. Like I'm not as mad that Aljo lost because it meant I got to see Izzy lose in the manner that he did as well. So
Yeah, and you know what? The thing about Aljo losing was that, like, it's kind of weird because he built up this like anticipation for it, and like he kept winning. That was the part that made it so I think like great. Like, Izzy, I feel like he kind of ruined. Like we've seen Izzy lose before. You know what I'm saying? We saw him lose to Alex
yeah,
Pierre. We saw him lose to Jan Blachowicz, right? And now we saw him lose to Strickland. Even though this moment is great because it was Sean Strickland that did it. But the Aljo thing was that it because he hadn't lost since Marlon Rice, and that was like fucking. I feel like that was in what 2017, right?
yeah,
That was
that
a
was the
long
last
time
one.
ago, right?
Yeah,
So it's like we haven't seen him really lose in a very long time. So that's what made that pay per view so great. That main event so great is because of that. But in all
yeah,
honesty, it's kind of weird because
do
it's
you,
like, uh-huh.
yeah. Now, the only thing I didn't like about and this is obviously criticism for the UFC, it was like obviously it's nothing to do with the fact that Aljo is like my favorite fighter, one of my favorites. It's like, okay, so Aljo loses the belt. You then go on YouTube and then immediately post a highlight reel of him getting knocked out. But then when Israel Adesanya loses his belt, conveniently you didn't post it straight away like you did
Yeah, Dana
for
White
Aljo,
privilege.
and it's like they didn't even post a knockdown or a highlight. They could have posted a short of Strickland getting a knockdown in the first round. They didn't do any of that shit. They've got
Yeah.
no issues making Aljo look like a clown and all the rest of it. But it's like with Israel Adesanya, who loses about 2 times in 10 months in the West Males division in the sport. How embarrassing is that for Israel Adesanya? And you got Sean Strickland walking you down. He's taking you out in your home turf.
Yeah.
And then to add insult to injury, you're fighting in that part of the world. They're your people. They're the ones supporting you. And then you wear the red China shorts and you double down on it and you say, when you make weight, you say for China.
And he tried to he tried to do that weird thing where you try to own the insult, but I don't think he owned it. I think he honestly just made it worse. Like he looked like a fool. Like, and don't get it twisted. Like I thought that like him wearing different color shorts is actually kind of cool. Like I like the red. Those are like some of my favorite color shorts.
Yeah.
But to be honest though, Israel Adesanya just proved to us why he is truly not an organic superstar or a good guy. Real talk. And that's just the God honest truth. People have to accept the fact that this guy is more of a natural bad guy than anything. That's just who he is. He's not a guy that you just can root for. There's nothing to root for.
He's one of those anti-heroes, isn't it? He's like a Vegeta. He's not a Goku, innit? But he's got main character syndrome. He thinks he's Goku. It's like, no, you schmuck. You're Vegeta. You get it? Like,
yeah.
He played second fiddle, bro. Like Alex Pereira is the fucking Goku. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just like, I think it just showed us like anyone with any amount of charisma can beat Adesanya in a fight week. Like Sean Strickland, this is what makes it worse for Adesanya because he lost every part of fight week and including the fight. He lost the press conference. He lost any fucking individual interviews he did. Sean beat him everywhere. And then he goes out there and has the performance of a lifetime and beats him there. Like, it's just reminiscent of as much as it needs me to say it, but Rockhold and Bisping, like Bisping won the press conference and then he wins the fight. You know what I'm saying? But at least my guy, Luke Rockhold, he faced the music. All right. He showed up to the fight press conference and got fucking slaughtered by Bisping again. All right, like a man. He took the
That was an awful press conference to watch though. Like even as a Bisping fan, like that was a tough watch.
Right? It was evil. It was fucking wrong, bro.
I've said me and you have had conversations and I've said like post-fight press conferences is such a boxing thing. Yeah. And before the fights, every fighter says, I was in the best shape of my career. The hardest fight is the fight before the fight, the weight cut, my weight's on point, I'm feeling great. And then after the fight, when they get knocked out in like 60 seconds, they're like, actually, I came in with a broken toe, a broken rib, a broken ankle. It's like they named like 15 injuries. It's like, which one was it? Like, are you in the best shape of your career or did you always get injured? Which one was it? Like,
yeah, I know it's a lot of coping and just bullshit. But I actually want to. This is actually an interesting comment right here. I was amazed they didn't rob Sean. To be honest, they protected.
I was so nervous about that.
Yeah, right. Were you like? I was a little like concerned that they would find a way to give this to Izzy because besides I would say round 1 and round 4, you could kind of make a debate those other round 5 and round 5. My bad, round 5. But like rounds 2 and 3, like some people were trying to say Izzy won that.
I think round 2 I gave Izzy. That was the only call.
But some people said 3. Some people were fighting for 3.
You know what the problem was though, and this is how the UFC have their propaganda and how they want you to paint certain narratives. My issue is they put up the significant strikes count on the screen to paint certain narratives to fighters and judges and all the rest of it, and it's like, bro, they need to get rid of that. They just need to have you watch the fighters and the counter. Don't put stats on there because it will sway your mind so bad. I'm seeing Sean Strickland walk him down, consistently hit that 1-2, the teep kick, consistently back him up at the cage, pressure him, not let Izzy get off on any offense, blocking kicks, checking calf kicks, getting out the range of the calf kicks. But yet they're putting up they tried to put up saying some numbers that Izzy outstruck Strickland 2-1 in one of the rounds. I'm like, bro, what have you been fucking watching? Ridiculous.
And it's so stupid because they always like, and honestly, like I have seen them get it right, but most of the time they always, when they do the live count for significant strikes, most of the time they get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? They always have to do a recount and then give an edited version later. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the point of showing this stat to the public, and then making the public feel like a certain way about a certain fight. You know what I'm saying? Like even the judges can't even. I don't think they can see that shit. I don't know if they can, but I don't think they can. Right? Like I don't think they're allowed
I'm
to.
not too sure, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say for definite that the judges can see it, but I know for a fact that the fans can see it, and obviously online noise and all the rest of it. What happens is, say, for instance, you got the significant strikes count, and let's say, on a lot of those rounds they were saying Izzy was ahead. Say Izzy wins 50-45 or whatever. Let's say they robbed Strickland and Izzy got won 49-46. A
Yeah.
lot of the fans would have said Strickland doesn't. A lot of the fans would have been swayed by the numbers and said Strickland doesn't deserve a rematch. He got outstruck 4-1. Do you know what I mean? Because a
Yeah.
lot of fans, not in a rude way, but it's like you'll look at numbers and it'll paint a narrative. Like I saw a show, I can't remember what it was. I wish I could shout them out, but they put up fighter A and fighter B. They put up strikes per minute. They put up the strike defense and they put down a takedown defense. And which fighter's better, fighter A or fighter B? And they said fighter A. It turned out to be Sean Strickland's numbers. Sean Strickland had better numbers than Israel Adesanya. But again,
Yeah.
when you put the two fighters next to each other, the unconscious bias kicks in. So obviously, what the content creator did was he put two silhouettes of fighter A and fighter B, and didn't tell anybody whose numbers they were. It was quite a good
Yeah.
video. I need to find it.
Yeah. I'll try to check it out. But yeah, man, the whole fight was just fucking. It was so. It was nuts, bro. It was crazy from him dropping him in the first round, from him talking mess to him in the fifth round, and then just taking that belt. And then what did you think about Adesanya begging Sean Strickland not to roast him? Right?
I'll take it. You've seen the Guru video then, bro, because that's the one I watched.
I saw that, and then like, but I even saw it previously to that, and I knew he did it, and it's just like, I think like,
Yeah, I understand. I think he's hypocritical because I see a guy hump Paulo Costa. I see a guy say to Robert Whitaker, I went to the nosebleeds and now I made his nosebleed after you've knocked him out. And
yeah,
then and at the same time he jumps up on the cage and says, Yo, Romero had 10 rounds with this guy. I got it done in 2.
yeah,
And
and
then
it's like
and then
it's
the Yoel Romero thing, they get in each other's face after the bell. And it's like, bro, you did nothing for 5 minutes. That's the most aggression I've seen you show after the bell,
yeah,
dickhead. And then coming out with the Jared Cannonier thing with the Undertaker and all that shit. And it's just like his antics after fights, and even he taunted Alex Pereira's kid after he knocked him out. And it's
bro,
like,
the craziest thing, and everyone said it was cool.
it's
Everyone,
only Izzy fans who say it's cool, but any human being with morals, yeah, regardless of whether you're an Izzy fan or not,
bro,
thinks that's wrong.
I swear to God, I posted this video on my shorts. Let me read these comments, bro. I swear they're still there. It's the most. These people are insane, bro. Like, and I
Mm.
said it, evil Adesanya mocking Alex Pierre's children. And you know what these motherfuckers said?
But
Oh, shit was cold as fuck. Wouldn't be so well deserved if Alex ever taught his son humility and respect. Oh my, they're trying to get mad at a 5-year-old. Y'all hear this?
bro,
Kid
do you
started
know?
it.
Do you know
Oh
how
wow,
much
get
stupid
over
shit
it.
you do when you're 5? 5-year-olds don't have the level of accountability. We're talking Israel Adesanya is 32 years old.
I know, but it's wild. It's wild. And now he wants. I get it, man. If his dog died, like I mean, it probably his dog did die, but like, and I don't know what kind of relationship he had with his dog, and he's like that.
Yeah,
That's family.
Nefe, we've seen the videos. We know what kind of relationship he had with his dog.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I kind of. I mean, I don't get it, but like, if he doesn't want people talking mess, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
but do you
you
have the
just can't
position?
be. You can't be talking mess to other people and expecting them not to talk mess to you.
It's just I don't
It's just
know. I'll be honest, bro, because like again, it's one of those things where he said, oh, obviously when he was a kid, he got bullied and shit like that. The way he acts as an adult, it's no surprise to be honest with you, and that sounds horrible to say.
yeah,
'Cause, bro, I imagine he's so annoying when he was a kid.
yeah. They fucked him up. They fucked him up, and I don't know,
Mm.
man. Because I was seeing some threads or whatever. They were trying to make Adesanya look like a good person. Where
Yeah.
what's
But
it
just
called?
coming back real soon, he'll dominate everyone on his way back to the title. O'Malley's him as well. That fight's not happening, bro. It's not. And this is another thing where the inconsistency fucking pisses me off. It's like, so Dana White, the same Dana White who says we don't make fights the night of the fight, is saying that Israel's potential. probably getting a rematch with 0 title defenses to his name. Weili Zhang, who got knocked out in 1 round against Rose Namajunas with 0 title defenses, gets an immediate rematch. Brandon Moreno's been in 6 consecutive title fights, including an interim fight. 0 title defenses to his name. He keeps fighting for a belt. But my boy Aljamain Sterling, who holds the record for the most consecutive title defenses at 135, can't get a rematch. I'm not saying he should get the rematch. I think he should go to 145, as we've discussed in the last couple of fight talks. But it's like, Dana, is there a precedent for this? Like, how does this all work? Because you're giving fighters that can't even get 1 title defense an immediate rematch.
Yeah, and I feel you on that. I get why they want to do it, because it's a bigger fight than what Dricus versus Sean Strickland. But I mean, Izzy needs to rest. Izzy does need to rest. And I say you make that fight. In the meantime, do the co-main event slot. Whoever.
But this is, to play devil's advocate here, he's had one of the bigger breaks he's had. He's had 5 months off. He fought in April.
Yeah.
Like, what was the excuse? He was fresh. If anything, like, not to sound like a prick, but he was at an advantage. Like, they tried to get Strickland to turn around quick. They tried to get Dricus to turn around quick. Yeah. They wanted Izzy to just go out there, have a fighter cut weight twice in the space of 3 months, go through training camps twice, these 12-week camps, and then for Izzy to get another title defense to his name. And it's like, bro, like, I agree with you what you're saying about Dricus. I think Dricus' name only sells in the title fight if Izzy's holding the belt.
Yeah, it's the only thing.
The only way it works is
or you wait for Chimaev and Costa, which I am probably.
But that's what Dana's gonna do, though.
On that card, like, to be honest, like, UFC 294 is a great card. Obviously, the main event's going to be dope, but I am the most hyped for Khamzat versus Costa, because I think the stakes just risen for both guys. I think they have a real legitimate opportunity to become a number 1 contender.
I think if Costa wins, he doesn't get a title shot, though. Like, I think it's one of those things.
Or, you know what they should do? And this is what I want. If Costa finishes Chimaev like how I think he does, I want to see him versus Adesanya again. Run that back. He deserves it. Am I right? Like, I feel like Costa would rather want that fight.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Costa is obviously the way he handled the Vittoria fiasco, coming in overweight and stuff, pulling out against Jared and pulling out against Whitaker twice. Yeah. I think the UFC aren't prepared to give him a name like that, because obviously he's still having issues with them. I think quite like that kind of thing after Ron DeLizzi fights Brunson. I think that's the kind of matchup they give him, to be honest.
Even after beating Chimaev?
Yeah, I genuinely do, because I think he's one of those guys they're trying to dislodge from the top 5, similar to what they're trying to do to Josh Emmett.
Yeah, they're just trying to commit an assassination on Josh Emmett.
Yeah, they're apparently going to have him fight Max Holloway. And it's like, why? Like, where the fuck is Brian Ortega? Where the fuck is Calvin Kattar? Where the fuck is Arnold Allen now? Like, what the fuck's happening to 145? Like, it's like it's almost ridiculous that we're saying a 35-year-old Volk who's had a lightweight title fight in between is more active than every contender at 145. That's embarrassing. Like, you guys should be hungry and wanting to get the belt.
Yeah, facts. Boars will make it look easy. Betting on Costa.
I don't think he does, though. I really don't. If Khamzat wins, I don't think it will be easy as people make out.
I don't get it. Like, it's like they forgot the Gilbert Burns fight ever happened. Like, that dude struggled. Like, a good grappler with heavy hands. Who's, like, honestly, like, Paulo Costa has never been out. I've never seen him, you know.
Paulo Costa shared an octagon with Yoel Romero, and if you watch that fight, you'll have every confidence in your mind that he beats Khamzat Chimaev based on MMA.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think he has the skills. Like, do I think Chimaev is a super athlete that's really, really good? Of course, I do think he has some potential, but in my humble opinion, I think Costa can defend those takedowns, and I think he can make it an interesting fight.
Yeah,
I think that fight is going to be a barn burner. And
bro, I think that's the people's main event, really, isn't it? On that card, it's like nobody's there to watch fucking Mokaev and Tim Elliott. Shout out Tim Elliott, but yeah, that's not the card. That's not the fight everyone's wanting to watch, or Liskarov or other guys like that. Everyone wants to see Khamzat Chimaev.
Hefe, who wins, Brendan Allen or comes out? You already know, man. Brendan Allen is gonna teach him respect, man. But yeah, man. What
Bro,
else?
Kaz, that name is you sound like a pimp, bro. Change it.
Kaz with the cash. Costa isn't mentally there after the Izzy beat the dog shit
Can you
out of
say is? Do you not think that's harsh? He gave us an extremely competitive fight against Marvin Vittori. They both fought exceptionally well to a point where, again, that could have been a fight that was fight of the year. And then obviously the Luke Rockhold fight was excellent as well, to be honest, regardless of what people think. I
Yeah,
think he showed us good fights, and he showed tremendous heart and spirit in both fights.
and I was more impressed with Costa's
Defense,
grappling in that
yeah.
fight and than his striking, honestly. And Luke's a good grappler, so yeah, man. I get
They're
what
insane.
Devin's saying about the Vittori fight, but at the same time, Kamza is not Jared Cannonier on the feet. And Chimaev's wrestling, I mean, you saw the Burns fight. No one wants to talk about the Burns fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he legitimately stopped grappling in that fight. You know, he has a gas tank issue, in my opinion. Obviously, going up to 185 might help that, but and I don't think Gosta is some fucking Olympian track star runner, but still, he's been proven in 5 round fights. He's been proven in 3 round fights. Luke he only took him down once, and it was a minor takedown. And
I remember once, maybe twice at the most, but I think even the second time he got reversed.
And also when he and I think even the second time when Luke got on top, it was like Costa, like I think he got dropped or he
Yeah.
tripped. But
W
but my
Kaz for the next comment. W Kaz. I can't wait to see Giacomo get slept. That schmuck.
yeah, JDM going down, baby. JDM is going down. But honestly, I want to go back to UFC 293, man. What did you think about the Manal Cop fight, and then obviously Taito Avasa getting fucking
I think the
destroyed?
Manel Cup fight, I think people read too much into it. He's fighting a guy who's short notice. He doesn't know anything about him, so he kind of played it relatively safe, in my opinion. Um, given the knockouts that we saw earlier in the card, it's like there's no point trying to fight for a bonus when there's a good chance you're not going to get it. So just stay on course in terms of your title your title run, and like get the W, get out there, and then get the Kai fight. I think that was his thought process. And
Yeah,
then
you
Taito
about
Vossa, I've said to you for the longest, I never thought he was that good. He just had favourable matchups to get into the top 5.
yeah,
I mean, you both picked Volkov to beat him, so
yeah.
we weren't surprised.
That was beautiful. That
Tyson,
was a beautiful
Tyson
performance.
Pedro looked great. Carlos Ulberg looked great. I want to see Ulberg fight a ranked guy, but not fucking Dominic Reyes, you fucking pussy. Call someone else out.
Yeah, man. I think Dominic has even a good chance of being that guy. I really do. So,
No,
but yeah,
I think Ulberg hits hard though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah, he does hit hard, and
I think he
Dom,
hits hard.
and we need
But
that Kai pack after Cop Smoke, of course, bro. The Kai pack is coming very soon, bro. Kai is such a clown, bro. How do you that whole camp? They love to talk about how they don't pull out of fights. They show up. They're tough guys, and I think most of them are. I got respect for Volk and Dan, but Kai fucking he first of all he pulls out after a concussion and then shows up to the presser, shows up to the fight. I get he's supporting his guy, but fucking interacts with Cop
he
who
was
just
taunting Cup though in the
yeah,
crowd. It weren't like he just sat like a good boy and minded his own business. He sat there taunting Cup.
exactly. So it's like it is what it is.
And
Like
if you're on Manel Cap again, something that we discussed earlier, it's like you've had Kai Kara France, Davison Figueiredo, and Alex Perez all pull out on you, and the UFC have been trying to get you matched with a top 5 guy for the last year or so. It's like you're going to be frustrated because you want movement in your division, and you're trying to achieve your goals and go for your aspirations and try and win a belt. But you can't do that if everybody's pulling out of fights or they're coming out with bullshit excuses.
and it's so like I don't know, bro. It's so wild, man. And it's just ah, I feel for Kai, bro. Not Kai. I feel for Cap, man. It's just like imagine having all those pullouts, and then you have to fight this Felipe dos Santos kid who's actually really, really good. And yeah, man, I think flyweight can get really interesting if Cop does work his way up. He seems like he's like the only guy with a little bit of hype in that division.
They
That's
gave
like,
him they gave him a lot of shit though. Like I remember, I think I did it myself. To be honest, I gotta hold my hands up. It's like they had him fight Pantoja first, which is a horrible fight to fight as your first fight in the UFC, and who's gone
yeah,
on to be a champion. So that defeat hasn't aged horribly, if that makes sense. It's not like he lost to a schmuck. He lost to Nicolau, which is obviously, I think he broke into the top 6 this year or last year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah,
So it's like he lost to 2 guys that are in the top 5. He's then gone to AKA. He's acknowledged his deficiencies. He's worked on them. He's been getting the rounds in, getting the UFC experience in, because he was primarily a kickboxer, I think. And it's like, yeah, now obviously he's starting to put it all together. So
yeah.
yeah, obviously fair play to him at the minute. I'm just excited to see what he does next.
I think he has some of the most potential in that division to be really, really good. But like again, I have the same issues with him. Low output. He waits way too much sometimes. He's not active enough. Like that's my biggest critique on him is that if that guy had like a real legitimate functional jab, like he fucking hurt motherfuckers, man. Because like when he lets his hands go, like dude, it's like a robot. Like he can like throw like a 10 punch combination like nothing, but he just needs to find the right moment, you know. But if it's like Cop versus Moreno, like I think he has a legitimate chance of knocking that fool out finally. But yeah, he just needs to work his way up and really get those wins, get that UFC experience. And
Yeah,
I don't he got robbed against Nicolau. I think he did get robbed
it was a
low.
split, I think. I'm not too sure.
It was a close fight, but I thought like he did himself again a disservice by waiting and doing a lot of dumb stuff. Cop fought dumb against
Well,
Bisping.
to be honest, though, with the style, though, I think a lot of people are trying to do the easy. It's like, do you know what? As long as you look as long as on the judge's eyes, you look like you're making a guy go backwards and you're landing strikes with like calf kicks and shit. You're going people think you're going to win the round. It's like that might work at the bigger weight classes where obviously ring generalship's a big thing, but in the smaller weight classes, they tend to. Again, we look at fights so differently on weight classes. So like in the smaller weight classes, we do tend to look at we definitely in an unconscious sense look at volume a lot more because we think these guys can throw more.
Yeah. We all don't like Moreno, but we'll all root for Moreno against Albazi. I don't know. I like Albazi. Albazi is my guy, but yeah, I did think he had a suspect performance against Kai. Um, I wasn't a big fan of that, but hey, it is what it is. Even besides that, Moreno a bad matchup for Mir. Mir kind of sucks to be honest. All right. Relax. All right,
That's
y'all.
harsh. That's harsh. Though. He was getting all finishes before that fight. I feel like, well, again, it's that saying, and you're only as good as your last fight. It's like Cyril Gahn. All it takes is like everyone shat on him earlier this year. He beat Sergey Spivak, and everyone says he's back. It's like no, he's the same schmuck. Like he didn't look that drastically different to me than he did last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you honestly tell me Cyril Gahn looked better in that fight than he did last year?
no, he didn't. But I like the body work, like the body punches he was throwing. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, Cyril Gahn's a fun fighter to watch sometimes when when he actually lets go and like he does those kind of performances where, like against Ty and against Spivak where he actually looks kind of cool. Like people are going to give him his credit, but when people see him get exposed, like in the Francis fight and obviously the John Jones fight, it's very tough, man. And I think there's nowhere to run for Cyril anymore. I don't think he's going to get these kind of matchups. Like if he fights Tom Aspinall or Sergey Pavlovich or even Jalton Almeida, man, and maybe even Curtis Blades, those are tough fights for him. Very, very tough fights, you know.
Yeah, nah, I agree. I agree with you there, but we gotta wait and see. To be honest, like I've said before, bro, that guy needs to get one of those express first class tickets to Dagestan, grow a beard, sit out there for 6 months, bro, and just learn everything, bro.
Yeah, man. It's just I don't know, man. Like, and to be honest, man, like he didn't even steal the show. I thought Saint Benoit Denis stole the show, bro. And
Yeah, he looks phenomenal, bro.
all the schmucks that told me Thiago Moises this, Thiago Moises that. Yeah, look at you now. I just wanted to say that. I didn't get to say that on video, but look at you now, baby. Benoit Saint Denis is coming. He is coming. Islam Makhachev is shaking in his boots right now as we speak, man.
He's looked great since he's gone to 155. He's looked really good.
He should have never been a 170. He should have never been 170. And fucking Zaleski dos Santos put a beating on him, bro. But yeah, he's just fucking dude. He just oh my god! And when he beat that one, that brother, what's his name? That brother for that he beat.
Bonfim.
Yeah, Bonfim. That fucking schmuck. I remember when I told everyone fucking believe in Benoit Saint Denis, he's gonna beat this guy. Everyone laughed at me. They even say Bonfim is the most. They're saying he has the most potential. This and that. Rah rah rah. Yeah, get out of here. His brother is better than him. And fucking man, that was so beautiful.
He beat a bigger named guy though when they both fought. So I think that's what kind of contributed to that thought process.
Yeah, he beat McKinney.
McKinney. I couldn't even name you the schmuck that Gabriel fought.
Yeah, Gabriel fought. I forgot that guy's name. I know.
I've literally forgotten the name.
Saint Denis is ducking Frivola. Bro, he would.
Bro, neither of those guys are booked to fight each other. Like
you would rape Frivola, okay? Stop it.
Hey, let's not slander Frivola, okay? Frivola's got bigger fish to fry, bro. Like we already got wins. We already got wins over fucking Jalen fucking Turner, and somehow he's ranked above him.
Okay, Stipe Muchacho will shock the world.
Yes,
I think so too, man. I think so too.
Bro, he's so hard to get engagement out of. Like I see his TikTok, yeah, people like him, people comment. He don't fucking respond to a single comment. He don't like the comments. Bro, it's annoying, bro. All I want is for Stipe to fucking like my comment or something, bro. Like fucking I'm hurting.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't. He's not a social media guy.
He doesn't fuck with social media at all, bro. It's the same with Twitter. You'll post a picture of him training and that's it. And he won't even look at his phone again.
Yeah, he's on that what's it called, post and ghost mentality.
Yeah.
But I really do think he can beat John Jones, bro. I think a lot of people are putting way too much stock in that Cyril Gane performance that Jones had, and they're just not realizing that that's like what 30 or 40 seconds of tape, and then his fight before that is against Dominic Reyes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
do you know what's interesting about Stipe? If he wins the heavyweight belt, he'll be the second oldest heavyweight to ever win that belt behind Randy Couture. So he just sets another record. He ends up in the history books again if he wins the belt.
It'll be nuts, bro. If he beats Jones, and
both he'll be 42 when he does it.
Huh?
He'll be 42 when he does it. I think his birthday is like next month or the month after. I can't remember.
He's getting up there. But if he fucking beats that man, it will be the greatest thing I've ever seen, bro. Like John Jones finally humbled in Madison Square Garden. All the GOAT talk will finally be stopped. The coke head can finally sit down and the world will finally be at peace. That would be beautiful. And to top that fucking whipped cream with a cherry on top, baby, all we need is a Colby Covington USA strap, baby. It's coming, Ed. Are you trembling?
That's not happening, man.
Are you shaking in your toes? You know, Kobe coming for the belt, baby. You know that, right? It's my time now. It's my time.
That's not happening, bro.
Oh my god,
bro. Bro, I do not need. I think welterweight don't want that to happen. I think welterweight would rather Leon win. You know, I think they all don't want Kobe winning.
In terms of activity, I think Kobe beats Leon. Then fights Connor fucking for the in a mega fight and retires. I think that's what's gonna happen.
What, as in Colby Connor at UFC 300 or some shit like that?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Bro, that's a weird fight though.
Colby is winning
in so many ways. That's literally, if you can design the worst guy for Connor to fight, it would be Colby Covington.
Yeah. What's it called? Kobe is winning the world title. Prepare yourself. Please don't jinx it. I want Kobe to win, but we need to be careful. Yeah, we need to be careful. We need to walk this because I'm not gonna lie. Like I like that Sean won, like O'Malley won, and Strickland won, but those aren't really my guys. All right, you know they have that post, right? They have that post. You know they talk about O'Malley,
the three white champions. Yeah,
and Kobe. Those two little white boys are not my white boy. Kobe is my white boy. I need my white boy to win, man.
Nah, That's funny, bro. That's funny. Yeah, bro, we'll see in it. Obviously, after what we just saw, like I can't rule anything out, man. Obviously, I want Leon to win. It's like, fuck, man. 2023 has been a crazy year.
Yeah, I know, man. It's a tough. I mean, honestly, it's such an interesting fight because I do think it's a close fight. I think Leon can probably beat Colby for the first 2 rounds, but I think if Colby just takes over, gets that gas, and I know Leon loves hanging around by defense, man. Like Colby can really take advantage of that and just get some takedowns and get some top time and just get that work. We
I
can,
think I think Leon's going to be body knee heavy though in his
yeah,
game plan, and obviously, we've seen the body shots affect Colby, particularly in later rounds.
yeah,
So I
um,
just think, but I think to be honest though, like I've never seen. I don't know what it was, but the third fight, Leon looked much bigger than Usman. Maybe the rehydration, maybe it's different fighting in the UK. Maybe there's a bigger window to rehydrate. I don't know. But compared to the second fight, like Usman looked so minuscule next to him in the cage.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and I think people. I think people are gonna watch Leon fight Colby and then they're gonna shout weight bully. And it's like, bro, he's been that same weight for fucking 4 years. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
He's
It's just
big.
that Colby
He's
Covington's a really small welterweight.
Yeah. But I do think. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen him have like these kind of weird close fights with like Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Like it is possible to make that fight a real competitive fight if Colby does it the right. He just has to make it dirty. Leon's a very particular kind of fighter where he likes things like kind of perfect, or pretty.
Yeah,
And
he's very he's very detail orientated in it. So it's like for him, he has to do things a certain way. Like I think,
like,
believe it or not, John Jones is very much like this as well. Like John Jones was insistent on fighting stand up with Thiago Santos, and he was insistent on keeping it. I know he shot takedowns on Reyes, but he was insistent on keeping it a stand up fight. Whereas in theory, we've seen what's happened to Reyes since he could have dragged his ass. I think so. You can drag Cyril Gane to the ground, but you can't drag Dominic Reyes. I think if he actually took that fight seriously, he would drag Reyes to the ground and smash him up.
yeah, Leonardo is not being Colby Chaos Cubby. I'm telling you.
Who the fuck's Leonardo?
There will be no more corruption stopping Colby from greatness. Yeah, there has been a lot of corruption from. I mean, Colby should have been a champion in fucking 2019, bro. I don't care what anyone says, bro. That fucking Usman fight still hurts.
I do think if Colby retires without winning a bout, he would definitely regret not fighting Woodley when Woodley had the bout.
Oh, that's the worst, bro. Don't even remind me of that, bro. That's so painful, bro. If there ever was a golden ticket to the stars, that was it right then and there. And fucking Darren Till fucking choked it, bro. Darren Till choked it, man. Ain't that crazy?
Even when you watch Woodley Usman, it's like you're telling me Colby couldn't have done the same thing.
Nah, he would have smashed him. Like I think Woodley was checked out after the Till fight. He was checked out, bro. I think I don't know. Like it's something weird that happened with Woodley. Like mentally, he just wasn't there. And like, dude, it's hard to ask for. Like, one thing I really do respect about Woodley, he doesn't get enough credit for. The man became a champion at such an old age. How do you expect him to keep that up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I was reading some statistic. Like I think fighters under the age of 35 in title fights, there's only 2 wins.
yeah.
And Woodley got both of them.
Yeah, I remember when he fought Robbie Lawler, Woodley, like everyone fucking was like, because he took a year off or something like that, and like he was gone for a minute, and then he took he got the Lawler fight, and everyone was like, why are they giving this to Woodley? Like he hasn't done anything. Like he's just coming off some lackluster wins. And
I think his run to welterweight was incredible though for the belt.
He
The
beat
Josh Koscheck knockout was nuts. He knocked him out standing. That guy was squatted and he got knocked out.
I don't know if that was like I remember he had lost to McDonald, right? He lost to McDonald in between that.
That was very early on though.
Was it?
I think that was a decision as well. Yeah, I'll have a look at his record now. I think it was very early on because I think he won a few, and I think
so he beat he only beat so he beat Young Kim and then he beat Kelvin Gastelum.
But he also beat Josh Koscheck and Carlos Condit by finish as well. He got
McDonald,
the
McDonald fight was in between.
3 of the 4 fights were finishes, and the I think they did so the UFC did him a favor because the KG fight was a catchweight fight, and obviously Calvin Gaston had 10 pounds on him.
Yeah.
Because Woodley had already made the weight from what I remember. Again, the UFC still let that happen because they wanted to stitch him up.
Yeah, they owed Woodley for that one.
Yeah,
but
that's why that happened. But yeah.
Yeah, but he took a whole year off, and like he goes out there and starches Robbie, and everyone's like, "Oh, Robbie's gonna break him." Da 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 da. Because obviously he had that Roy McDonald loss,
Yeah.
and he fucking does it. So I always give Woodley his respect for that because that's tough. What he did was tough, and then obviously he had a bit of a long title reign. So
yeah. The thing is, though, if you're a fighter that relies solely on your athleticism and your explosivity and all the rest of it, those fighters tend to decline a lot harder because once you lose your speed and your power and your reflexes, it's like you're a sitting duck essentially. Like you look at what happened to guys like Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell. It's like once they lost their reflexes and their speed and they were unable to take a punch, they were just getting knocked out left, right, and center. And for Woodley, even though Woodley lost decisions, we didn't really like. Nobody can say Woodley was getting smoked in fights. So. It was just one of those things, isn't it? But it's like fighters like that. Whereas if you've got like the slow twitch, it's like guys like Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo's, they went on for like a decade plus at that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that those guys tended to last longer in their careers. You look at GSP, John Jones, the 5-round fighters, the guys with the slow twitch muscle fibers, the guys that can't hurt a fly. They're the guys that lasted and had the longest win streaks. That's why someone like Anderson Silva was an absolute like phenomenon because the guy was doing it the way he was, and he came to the UFC at like 32, 33, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Like he fought at the UFC. He came very late in the UFC,
and he lost at what, like when he was 39 or 38, right? When he lost to Weidman.
Yeah.
He's like really old, like, and I don't want to throw no shade on Adesanya right now. Like, I don't want this to be like, hey, let's spit on his grave because the man is dead right now.
We ain't really said anything, to be honest. I think we've been right.
I don't want to be too mean to the guy. I know the guy is probably doing some weird stuff with his dog right now, as trying to get over the fight. But the point is, like, man, Anderson would never lose at the age of 34 in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, man. So just saying, I think those GOAT conversations, like, I would say, like, honestly, I would say Adesanya is the GOAT. I would say he's like the best of all time, but like in terms of resume, I think Adesanya does have Anderson beat, and he also did beat Anderson as well.
But do you think? See, everyone says this, but then everyone also says middleweight is shit. So which one? Like I think which one is it?
Well, okay. Here's what I think happened. Right? Can I?
Middleweight used to have. I think they had Vanderlei. They had Vitor. They had Machida. They had Nate Marquette. They had Chael Sonnen. I would argue those guys a lot of those guys have better skill sets than the current middleweights we've got. Robert Whittaker maybe is the exception. But again, Robert Whittaker was a welterweight coming up, and we're seeing him get chinned. It's like you're telling me a Vitor couldn't chin him on fucking TRT.
No, I feel you. No, the reason why I say Izzy has the better resume is simply because of this. When Izzy was coming up, he came up when, in my opinion, when 85 was at its most competitive. Like they had obviously and he didn't fight Rocco, Weidman, or Jacare, those guys, but he did fight Yoel, he did fight Whittaker, he did fight Derek Brunson. So he fought that kind of era of middleweight. And then the next era was kind of weak, but he fought Paulo Costa that has a little bit of respect, in my humble opinion. And then he also did fight Anderson, and he was an older Anderson though. But he fought Paulo Costa, and then he obviously lost to Jan, and then he lost. Did he? No.
I'll be honest, bro. Like you're saying this, but Anderson Silva fought Chris Lieben in his debut, knocked him out in one round.
Yeah.
Rich Franklin knocked him out. Travis Luter knocked him out. Nate Marquette knocked him out. Franklin again knocked him out. Dan Henderson. This was Dan Henderson in 2008, by the way, not 2016. Submitted him. James Irvin KO'd him. Patrick Colt KO'd him. Forrest Griffin knocked him out, fucking going 20 pounds up. And then the Damian Maia fight was a snoozer. But then he also finished Chael Sonnen. It's like, I don't understand how people can possibly compare the two fighters. I really don't.
No, I don't. I feel you on that, but like all those guys, like I like Damian Maia, I like Dan, I like Hendo, I like all those guys you name. Even Franklin's cool, but I feel like Brad Tavares, Derek Brunson, who else?
No, those guys were gatekeepers, bro. He beat a bunch of gatekeepers, bro. I'm not
Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, Yoel, even though it was a bad fight.
I don't even think the KG fight even fucking aged well. I think because the fight was such a good fight, people overrate it, overrate the fighter, if that makes sense. It's
Yeah,
like
no,
beating KG now. Look at how it's aged since.
yeah, I feel you. Yeah, like, but obviously KJ at the time was like a top contender, right? He was coming off a win over, I think, Jacare, and
I think the
he
last
Bisping,
one was Bisping
right?
though, because he beat
Yeah,
Bisping to try and get a title shot.
yeah. But he had wins. Yeah, so wins over. He beat Robert twice. He beat Marvin. He beat Cannonier, and obviously he beat Pierre. And those, in my opinion, those guys. Obviously, it's a new generation thing, but like I do think those guys are some of the better middleweights that we've seen in a minute. Like obviously, Yoel, Robert are probably at the top right now. But
Yeah,
those,
I think, bro, like all the advantages that Izzy has now, Silva would also have those advantages, bro. Like Silva's 6'2" with a 77-inch reach or whatever it is. Like I told you before, Izzy has it figured out when he's fighting schmucks that are 5'9", 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. It's like, okay, now he's fighting Sean Strickland, who's 6'1" with quite a long, crisp jab. Again, he fucking struggles. Is it any fucking surprise? He struggles against the same fighters, bro, again and again.
yeah,
Can't
no,
get his rhythm going against Jan Blachowicz. Can't get his rhythm going against Alex Pereira. He looked shit in the second fight, but we gave him credit because he won the way he did. And I gave him more credit for his mindset than his actual performance.
yeah.
And then obviously now he loses to Sean Strickland. It's like, bro, they've all got. He hasn't adjusted at all, bro. You would think being a kickboxer, he's fought all of the motherfuckers in the world, yeah. You'd think there's nothing he hasn't seen. But how the fuck do you get stumbled by a 1-2?
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, but
Again, this isn't a hate thing. It's because the reason why I'm saying this is because I hold Israel Adesanya to a high standard. So when I hold him to a high standard, when
you're being
something
honest.
stupid happens, then I think, how the fuck did that happen? You're a great fighter, Izzy. How the fuck does this happen? How the fuck do you lose to a guy that you? How the fuck do you get pressured by someone whose power you don't respect? I can understand Alex Pereira fucking pinning him backwards like that, but Sean fucking Strickland.
I know it's wild, bro. It's crazy.
Like, be honest, yeah. Would you like? Obviously, I know you're not a pro fighter and everything else, but it's like, who makes you go backwards more, Alex Pereira or Sean Strickland?
I mean, well, obviously Alex, right? But
Alex
to be honest
moving.
though, but to be honest though, Sean's style is to go forward. I think that's why it was such a kryptonite for Izzy. Obviously, this is all hindsight, and we're just looking back at this. But like Sean always goes forward. I've never seen Sean back up. Like even against a lot of the toughest guys, like even against Cannonier, even against fucking Alex Pierre, he went forward. So he's always gonna kind of go for it. I know what you're saying. Like I completely agree with you. I do think Silva is the winner of the GOAT conversation, but in my opinion, in terms of resume, I do value the new generation more than the old generation. I think that's just fair. I think guys like Robert, especially Yoel, man, even though he's an older guy, like could you imagine? Like you saw what Yoel did to Lyoto Machida when he fought that generation, right? Like you saw when he had an opportunity to fight those guys, he fucking killed them, right?
Yoel was also a 205 fighting those guys, and then
that is
the difference is with those guys, because I know people say John Jones only fought middleweights. Those middleweights only went up to 205 because their time was done at middleweight, and they were aging and they weren't making a weight. It weren't because they felt like 205ers. Those guys were extremely undersized at 205, and that's why a majority of us have campaigned for a 195 weight class for the longest, and that weight class hasn't been campaigned for since Izzy lost to Jan Blachowicz, coincidentally, because people really wanted Izzy to capture a 195 belt.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. I think Izzy would have done himself a big service if he would have fought at least Jacare at the time when he was coming up, Jacare or like Rockhold or Weidman, those three guys. If he would have got one of those fights in, I think it would have helped his case a little more. But now I think it's just tough for him. Like I know he can get the belt again. But
I still think Brunson, Tavares, and KG, they're underwhelming, bro. There was some big names in that division, bro. There was some.
Yeah, no, I mean, in my opinion, when I was watching Adesanya come up, I felt like he kind of like cherry picked his way to the title shot. I don't care what no one says. Like people get mad at me for this, but like he fought Anderson Silva, old man, and then he fucking got the Kelvin Gastelum fight for a title. So it's like I felt like he should have had like either a Weidman fight or I thought he always should have had a Jacare fight. That was a fight I felt like they missed on, and Jacare could expose him at that moment. But I don't know. eBay, you could say today's guys are slightly better, but Silva made his opponents look so bad. There's no way he's losing to today's middleweight. Sean Strickland, the champ. Let's be real, losing the belt and getting
I
it.
was the thing though, like that's why the Weidman fight was a shock to a lot of people, because it's like, bro, there's a difference. Like we talk about these great champions and everything else, but it's like Anderson Silva was knocking these guys out in one round. Israel Adesanya is winning 3-2 decisions, but we're saying he's a GOAT. It's like he's like the Rob is a split. The Yoel Romero decision is a split. The
Yeah,
Cannonier fight, I think he wins 4-1 or 5-0. And so that was the only fight where you think, yeah, he definitely won that conclusively. But it was underwhelming. The Yam fight, he loses three rounds to 2. The Alex Pereira fight, he's winning 3 rounds to 1, but then gets knocked out. And he's losing the Pereira fight in the rematch before he beats him. And it's like he's losing round 1. It's like, bro, like he gets rounds taken off him. It's not like GSP. GSP 50-45 everyone.
yeah.
Which is why people give Johnny Hendricks so much credit, because nobody could take 1 round off GSP.
Hendricks whooped that boy. He whooped that trick, man. I'm still on that. Fucking 10 years later. But yeah, go on. My bad.
It's just, yeah, bro. Like this is why the Hendricks fight to this day gets talked as one of the biggest robberies. It's like, bro, we had GSP for nearly a decade, winning fights like 50-45, not losing rounds, being perfect for 25 minutes. But yet we came across an individual who's managed to fight the perfect fight against him.
Yeah, and I feel you on that. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think it's fair to say, honestly, at this point, it's just with him, I think he does need to take a break.
I do as well, but the UFC are going to be in a rush to fucking. They'll try and get him the belt before 300 so they can put him on the 300 card. So I think they'll make them turn around in January,
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad like what 300 is gonna. Do you know when UFC 300 is gonna
If
potentially
I
be
had
out?
to guess, it'll be in March.
It'll probably be yeah. So I think that's a good enough. I mean, from September to March, it's not bad.
But yeah, I think they'll have easy fight January, February, and then I don't know. It depends on how they space it out though, because they might
Yeah.
give us one of those extended breaks like they usually do in December. Because in December they give
Oh
us
yeah.
2 weeks. They give us 2 weeks off at the start of the year, don't they?
Yeah, they're gonna give us a long like 1 month break basically. But yeah, I don't know. Like my thing is like with Adesanya, I think right now, like it sucks, man. Like, and I remember someone was tweeting this. Actually, let me give this guy a shout out. Magic MMA on Twitter. I don't know if I think his Twitter got canceled, but he was one of the one guys that I saw picking Strickland. But he was saying like they should have never did the Strickland and Adesanya fight. They're really sacrificing Africa versus Africa with Dricus and Adesanya. And I kind of want to talk about the Dricus situation. Like, do you think the UFC missed out on a blockbuster fight with Dricus and Adesanya, or did Strickland and Adesanya even surpass the Dricus and Adesanya
I
expectation?
definitely. Okay, that's a very good question. I think I think I think that event exceeded expectations for a number of reasons. One, the press conference went even better than it did because of Manel Cap. That was an
Yeah,
external factor. I also think Sean Strickland causing the upset kind of made the internet explode in a way, because I think his champion. I think his Octagon interview hit 2 million views or something ridiculous like that.
yeah, fucking
And then
nuts. Yeah,
obviously, the MacLife interviews after that, and then Izzy obviously not facing the media and walking off.
running.
That was
He
that
went
was
running.
that was another headline. I think a number of things it gave the whole MMA space a few talking points. Whereas, say Dricus won or whatever, it would have been like, yeah, he won, but it's like it would have come. The fight would have come under a dark cloud, and it kind of like could be kind of there would have been a lot of negativity, the race wars, the whole racial undertones with the fight and everything else. And
Yeah,
you saw as well as I do, because you use Twitter like I do, some of the tweets that people are going off back and forth, and it's like
it was
again like
nonsense.
kind of guys like MMA Joey race baiting, being like, oh, if you don't like Izzy, it means you're racist. And it's like, okay. So I'm supposed to like a guy who jerks off dogs, and who's generally a shit human being, and fucking taunts kids who after he's knocked out their dad. That makes me racist. Okay, make it make sense.
I know,
Um,
dude.
I,
Yes, MMA Joey is so cooked. By the way,
yeah,
MMA.
I definitely think I think the Strickland event exceeded expectations. Like it went aside from the outcome in terms of the numbers wise and the monetary wise, it went better for the UFC than the Dricus fight would have.
Yeah,
But I think the thing with Dricus is Dricus only has one money fight in that division, and that's Izzy. Aside from that, he wouldn't have drawn the interest, whereas
yeah.
Sean Strickland has piqued everybody's interest now before he was a champion and now he's a champion. So I think yeah, I think it's a good direction they're going in. And again, Sean Strickland and Dricus wouldn't really sell, but
Yeah, it
if
wouldn't.
somehow
It's like no one cares about. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's that's the problem. Like with that fight, like I do think.
there's no backstory, is there? Whereas I think if the only way it works is Dricus picking up the belt off him and then they do the easy fight, but then
Yeah,
they cast Sean to one side. But I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they do it. They've done it before where obviously fighters have lost and then they just brush them out completely.
Like it's the most fair thing to do is Dricus versus Strickland, but it's just even I'm not like mad at the idea of an Adesanya rematch because even though it's stupid, I get it. Like I'm not a fool. Like
Makes money though, innit? It makes
yeah,
more money than the Dricus fight would.
I get it. Like and I feel bad for Dricus because he had probably one of the craziest wins of the
In
year.
2023, yeah.
Dude, it was nuts, man. He legitimate, like you remember, like last year with when Robert Whitaker and Adesanya fought each other in the rematch, and we're like, dude, who are like these guys are just like the best of the best, and now they're gone. Like you remember that bullshit like with
Yeah.
fucking Volk and Max. Like I'm hoping that eventually happens with Volk and Max. But like both those
I mean,
guys are fucking
it won't if the fucking schmucks won't fight each other though. That's the thing.
yeah.
It's just like this is why I said to you a number of streams ago. Like this is why I have so much respect for Calvin Cater because they they've used him as a leg up for guys like Emmett and Giga Chikadze, and he's fighting everyone and anyone. And it's like he fought Arnold Allen as well. He got injured. It was unfortunate, and it's like
Yeah.
he's the only guy fighting everyone in that division.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski as well.
Yeah, and Max, I think. Well, Max, and he's fighting all these old people, Sean Beast.
That guy needs to go to 55, bro. I don't know what he's doing at 45.
Dricus will KO Sean, and then Kamzat will beat Dricus. Oh my fucking god!
The thing
like,
is, though, say Izzy beats Sean in a rematch. If they do a trilogy, it holds up the division, which people will complain about. But it's a good problem to have because before that, we couldn't name the next 3 title fights, could we? Because we were running out of ideas. But
bro, we came to a point where Jared Cannonier versus Dricus might be a reality.
Yeah, and it's like
scary reality that I don't want.
Now you could potentially see Sean Adesanya 2, potentially Sean Adesanya 3, potentially the winner of that fight in Kamza, potentially the winner of that fight either fighting Dricus as well. Bro, we've got another 4-5 fights along out of the division. Do you know what I mean? And we've also got guys like the Lidsey coming through, Brendan Allen coming through, Paul Craig's a fresh face at 185.
Yeah.
Bo Nickel by then in a year or so, in a year, 2 years, he's gonna be up there. Like we've got new faces to play. We've got new players in the division, which is a good thing. Whereas the last stream we were saying, "Fuck, what are we gonna do?"
I know, but it's fucking nuts, and I think we're in a really good spot, man. I think Strickland versus Adesanya is going to be a fucking phenomenal.
I really hope he beats him again, and it's not a fluke. It's not like a Juliana Pena situation, bro. I really hope he beats him again.
I know. I really, the world is hoping, bro. I think he can, man. I really do. I think he can if he does it smart, bro. If he does it smart, if he wrestles, he needs to wrestle in the rematch. He needs
that
to
was crazy though. He's in the presser. He said, "Yo, the game plan was to wrestle or fight, but I didn't know he was such a fucking amateur on the feet."
I don't think they'll do a rematch. I mean,
they will do. They know only wants Izzy to fight for that belt. Who's he gonna fucking do? They don't reward guys who, in his words, turn down fights like Dricus did.
I think here's what happens. I think the only way I can see Adesanya not getting a rematch is if Khamzat Chimaev destroys like Paulo Costa in the most humiliating way, right? And then he calls out Sean Strickland and they make the Chimaev and Strickland fight. That's the only way I can see him.
So he jumps on the mic and says, "Killing, coming for everybody. I kill everybody." Basically,
I can see that. I can really see that.
I think they'll give him. I think they might feed him to Whitaker though, because they want to give comes out that fight where it says now he's the guy, he's him.
Yeah, but I don't think Whitaker has that appeal no more. Like I think Dricus kind of took it. Like
fair play.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think Chimaev would need to beat. That's why I kind of wanted him to fight Cannonier over Costa because he probably would have got more respect for beating Cannonier. But you know what I'm saying?
So, this is what confused me. What was because his coach obviously put out that leaked photo, right?
Yeah.
And we all thought it was Cannonier because of the people were matching the cages and shit like that. But then it turns out he's fighting Costa. So what the fuck was the Cannonier tape for?
Yeah, I know it's weird. I think probably Cannonier. I think Cannonier thinks, and also, what do you think about Cannonier weighing in at UFC 293? You see how they fucking gift those guys a title shot, and I'm scared, bro. I'm really.
Do you know what it is though? Do you know what it is though? It was right. We're gonna give Izzy someone who we think he's already beat Usyk or he's extremely winnable. So they just threw Cannonier thinking, do you know what? Worst case scenario, we put Cannonier in there. He's short notice. There's no way on earth he's gonna beat Izzy. Izzy gets another title defense, and then we can turn him around early next year and have him fight Dricus. I think that was their thought process. Yeah. A lot of the time with the backup fighters, they don't give a fuck. Even Luque weighed up as a backup for Usman.
But he fucked it up. He missed weight. That's why he ended up getting the Bilal Muhammad fight after that. I remember that.
But I forgot what Usman fight was. You know, it might have been Masvidal.
No, think about it. When Chandler he made weight for the
Khabib Justin fight.
He fought Dan Hooker and then he fought a title, right? So like it kind of does work out. Like if you fucking do them that favor, you're in very high regard. They give you something in return.
Apparently they've got Pavlovich weighing in for Stipe Jones. I don't know how true that is.
And that tells me Pavlovich's next fight is probably going to be for a title. Like most like I don't know what's going to happen with Stipe Muchacho. I think both those guys should retire, and then fucking I think Pavlovich.
I don't think Stipe is going to fight again, regardless of the outcome. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree too. But I think Pavlovich probably versus I don't want to see Gane again in that title. I say Tom Aspinall.
Pavlovich Aspinall, you know.
Or maybe, dude, imagine Jalton Almeida versus Pavlovich for the belt. They should force Moreno to fight Sterling at 135. That'd be interesting.
I think that's a shit fight, though.
I think aren't they teammates though? Like, aren't they cool?
Like, as in Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That guy is such a camp slut. Like, I don't know what camp he's at anymore. I really don't.
Yeah, he's
changed camps like 3 times. He's changed camps 3 times in the last 4 years.
Yeah, Pavlovich next champ after belt is vacated. I think no matter who wins, they gonna retire. Sterling doesn't. No, I always see pictures with them hanging out or training together. I swear to God, I'm not like you know what I'm talking about, right, Devin? Like I know Devin.
I get you. I've seen photos of them too, but I think Aljo likes to size up people in it. I think there's a few guys he's trained with. He trains with Yanez as well from time to time.
Yeah. I know. I remember. Dude, I'll never forget when Aljo was hyping up Yanez before the Rob Font fight. I was like, dude, this guy's just the best boxing at 135.
He also trained with Zabit as well, but he said, bro, I've never come across someone like Zabit. That's what put him off fighting at 145 because he thought everyone was like that.
Yeah, and then he fucking got starched. I remember he was talking about that. Yeah. Moreno has 3 losses to Pantoja. He needs to move on. Yeah, I know, bro. They're not going to give him. I swear to God, if they give that man another title shot,
they make Moreno Cejudo because Moreno called him out. You know, after Cejudo lost to Aljo.
That would be cool. I mean, I'd like that. I mean, there's some like they could do it.
I don't think Cejudo does it though because there's nothing in it for him. He wants a title eliminator fight. So Moreno or something makes sense for him, but he's not going to fight Moreno. It does nothing for him.
Ward Cheeto, Ward Sean, Ward Triple C, bro. Oh yeah, dude, there is a world where
how can you be Ward Cheeto and Ward Sean?
I think he's talking about
Strickland. Fuck.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about Cejudo chins Moreno at 135. Nah,
Yeah.
bro, he's not an easy guy to get out there. I keep telling you guys, bro, do not fucking sit there and fucking trade with a Mexican. It's not gonna fucking end well, bro. Like it's just a
I'm waiting
disaster
for
right
the
now, bro.
day, bro. I'm waiting.
Bro,
I
you
mean,
can't kill a Mexican. You can't kill a Mexican, bro. You either take them to the ground and wear them out and fucking tap them or something, or beat them by decision. You're not fucking knocking out a Mexican.
listen,
It's just not gonna happen.
All right, fucking Figgy, right? He got him a little bit. He dropped him. Pantoja dropped him. All I'm praying is Cop finally
Didn't Figgy
hits him.
get dropped with a jab though?
Huh?
Didn't Figgy get dropped with a jab in the second fight?
That's true. I'm not saying Figgy has a durable chin. I'm not saying Figgy's Iron Man. But what I'm saying is that with the will, there's a dream. You know what I'm saying? So I think Cop can get that chin, baby. I think he can catch him.
Yeah.
What are the next bantamweight matchups? I think obviously O'Malley versus Cheeto, something. Sudo versus Marab. And I think
Marab's apparently sitting out though.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's gonna be
Corey Sandhagen's out for a while.
yeah.
But I think I'll be honest. I think Rob Font and I think Rob Font's getting rebooked with Sonya Dong, and I think they might do Corey Cejudo. You know,
Yeah, that's
because if you think about it, although we all think Corey deserves a bout. Obviously, O'Malley's gonna fight. O'Malley's gonna fight Cheeto, and then he's probably gonna sit out and wait for the rest of the division to play out. They're gonna say to Corey, right, if you beat Cejudo, you definitely get a title shot. And they'll say to Cejudo, right, you need a credible win like Corey Sandhagen to get a title shot. So I think that's how they play it.
Yeah. Yudong will chin Font. I think sadly at this point, I think he might. But I think Font can give him a good fight, though. I think Font can give him a good scrap. Aljo didn't keep his word. Said no matter what, he's moving up to 145.
I'm disappointed too, Kaz. I really don't want him to fight at 135 because realistically speaking, if he holds the belt again, he'll be 36. And it's like, in my opinion, he's already broke the records at bantamweight, and he's done what he's done. He doesn't need another stint. He doesn't need another stint at 135 because there's nothing left for him to do. Get 4 title defenses. By the time he gets 4 title defenses, he'll be 37, 38. And in those divisions, bro, you can't be 37, 38 and perform at that level because, bro, like we were discussing earlier with the Volk thing and the Woodley thing and how the guys over 35 have few in 170 and below, how they don't tend to win in title fights, bro. Which I think Volk will get a W for that side, but we'll see.
What's next for Peter Yan? This cracks me up. Peter Yan should retire or go to Bellator. Fucking Fuego is probably clapping somewhere at this. Listen, all right, Devin, we're coming back, okay? Well, first guy on the list is Song Yadong. Let him go beat Rob Font, and we're coming for that fucking overrated punk. All right, we're gonna beat him. If Figueiredo wants to smoke, if he wants to move up, he can get it too. We're gonna be making this long win streak, and after we make that long win streak, we're coming for Sean O'Malley, and we're smoking him. And then we're gonna call out Aljalain for the trilogy, baby. And then we're gonna smoke him, and then we're gonna get it back against Marab, and then we're gonna retire as one of the greatest bantamweights of all time and rectify the timeline.
I'm just saying, bro. The expectation and the reality is 2 different things. They'll probably give him Dominic Cruz and give him another stat padded win. Bro, imagine you go to another California card and you get to see Dominic Cruz get smoked again.
It'd be sickening. I'm not. They should do. I hope they do Dom versus Figgy though. I hope that's the fight.
I think that's the fight they've been trying to make up for a while, but I don't even know what the fuck's going on with Figgy. But
Jan teaches Song how to strike. Of course he does. You must want Jan to go on an 8-fight losing streak. But yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, obviously, I do want to go more in depth with UFC 294. I kind of want to talk about that. Like, let's kind of get our final thoughts on that pay-per-view. What a fucking card, by the way, because honestly, like, I think UFC 293 delivered, obviously, but I mean, on paper, who the fuck saw that coming? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but this is a real fucking pay-per-view we're gonna get. I mean, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev 2, Paulo Costa versus Khamzat Chimaev, Nasruddin Amai versus Ikram Leskarov, Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker, Tim Elliott versus Muhammad Makayev. I mean, after that, the card goes whatever, but the main card is fucking lit. And
Oh,
what do you think?
they got that Sharaputin guy, the fucking Dagestani guy with the Sharingan, bro, the OP guy.
Yeah, versus Bruno Silva, right? The guy,
Yeah.
they keep hyping him up like on Twitter hardcore.
Bro,
But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those schmucks, bro, because I watch the comps and I get excited.
the eye, man.
Bro,
The eye,
he's got the look in it. He looks so fucking cool, and the way he fights is just yeah, bro. I
the
don't know.
eye,
I
the eye
like the
guy.
look of him.
Look, let's go to this guy's tapology. Where is this? This guy, bro. The eye has got Ed
Bro, that's
active.
not Sharingan Magomedov, bro.
Look at this fucking fool, bro. Like
11-0,
this.
bro. Don't call him a fool. 10 knockouts, bro.
Uh, we are not phased. All right, Bruno Silva, we trust. All right. No, I'm just playing. Probably Bruno Silva's probably getting smoked. But yeah, I mean Magomed Ankalaev versus Walker. I think Ankalaev should win that, right? I think he should win
That's
that.
crazy,
Rakic,
bro. He's got seven KO wins, 7 of them in the first round.
yeah. And then Nasruddin Amaya versus Ikram. Okay. I think Nasruddin shows this little Russian boy.
Hey, yo, Bruno Silva's got 20 KOs. I feel like I've just been watching this guy have decisions.
Yeah, he went to decision against Pierre, but I mean, he KO'd Brad Tavares. People forget that.
Oh, I'm an idiot, bro. He has been winning. He's won majority of his fights by fucking finish. I feel like I've been watching him in fucking snoozers. I watched him against Brendan Allen. He got smoked. And I watched him against Mearshot, and he got smoked.
Bro thinks he's fighting.
He got dropped in that fight as well.
Yeah, he did.
Bro, honestly, fuck, bro. He's like a fucking anime character, bro. The way I've seen him fight, he be throwing some mad stuff, you know.
Yeah, but bro, obviously, let's talk about this main event. I mean, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. I've been seeing on TikTok a lot of Charles fanboys trying to like manifest this fantasy where he defeats Islam. So, like, what do you think about that?
I manifested this. Me, I think we touched it briefly in the last fight talk, but yeah, I'll be honest. I think Makhachev's winning because supposedly there's a number of things that, like the way the turnaround. I think there was rumors that he was injured as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like I just think Makhachev beats him, but I do think Charles can beat him. I still think it's a 50-50 fight, but I just edge it to Islam because of how he looked in that fight, and because obviously, if you're Islam Makhachev and you go into a fight against someone who's not heard the final bell since he's won the belt and he's been knocking everybody out or submitting them, in your head you're going to be shit scared. But Islam Makhachev wasn't shit scared. He was so cool, calm, and composed, which was a total contrast to the Volk performance. But if he goes in there fighting fucking scared because of what happened in the Volk fight, then it's an issue. But the thing is, he's already beat this schmuck, so it's like he's not going to be scared of him because he's already seen that skill set and what dangers Charles presents him with. So I think for that reason alone, Islam Makhachev beats him.
Yeah, man, and I don't know, man. Like Hefe still healing from the Charles versus. Yeah, that still hurts, but Oliveira needs to get this fluke KO and duck the rematch for the trilogy.
Sorry, you can fight in Benil on this card. I won't be.
Do you think I should make a prayer video for Oliveira? I don't really want.
You don't really fuck with Oliveira though, so it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, like I don't like Makhachev, but like I cannot forgive Oliveira for the Benny fight. I just can't forgive him.
You cannot be praying for a dude who just knocked out Benny.
Yeah, like that just looks so bad. Like imagine like I'm rocking the Brazilian flag, like with a green hat, and I'm praying.
That's a green hat.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but what kind of fool would I look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such like
Wait.
I have to have some principles. You know?
So for the Kobe fight, serious question, because you'll have your flag. Are you wearing a MAGA hat as well?
I should get one. Just for.
Do you not think people will give you shit though for wearing a MAGA hat?
They probably would, but I don't. I mean, damn near the red hat I got, like, it's not a MAGA hat, but it kind of looks like a MAGA hat. Like, I've gotten some looks. Like,
Do you know what? You use that one. It's the closest thing to it, and you don't get shit for wearing a MAGA hat, so it's pretty much you win.
But I would totally go and do that. Yeah, have you seen like this? Sean Strickland, he has those hats like "Make MMA Great Again" or something like that. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen people Photoshop it. I think I've seen Bilal Photoshop it saying "Make welterweight great again," and how he's saying to Leon, "Sign the contract." It's like, bro, there's no agreement between you two, you fucking moron. Like, saying that, writing that 20 times a day isn't gonna do anything for you. But yeah.
Hefe, you literally said you would be 1000% confident that Benil would smoke Charles when they were booked. What happened, bro? Like, he was on his way to exposing that man, and then the flukiest head kick of all time happened, and then he fell to the side and got hit.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm tired of seeing the headshots now, bro. I'm getting deja vu every time. I'm kind of glad that none of the fighters I like have been the recipient of it yet, bro. And I'm saying yet because I don't know if John Jones can lift his leg that high, but I'm gonna be fucking scared when he does.
He can. He did it to my guy DC. I felt that was some pain.
No, heavyweight's different, though, bro. He's carrying a bit of weight, and he looked fucking slow, bro. At heavyweight, I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
he looks slow to me.
He's not. That's why he's more of a grappler at heavyweight. You know. Oliveira was beating him off his back. What are you waffling? Whatever, man. Like, yeah, jiu-jitsu this and jiu-jitsu that. Okay. Imagine Stipe blitz John.
Nah, FA, you know, for the because I know you're rocking with Stipe, bro. You know, for the fight companion, you gotta buy one of those kid firefighter hats, yeah, and then the US flag. You gotta rock that to support Steve.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we gotta do, bro. That's
one of those bro. You gotta wear one of those fireman outfits, bro. They're selling in like fucking department stores, bro. They're like $20. I swear, it would be so funny to see you wear that.
Dude, we're going straight firefighter mode, but dude, my Wi-Fi is dying right now, y'all. I don't know what's going on today. The stream's probably a little fucked, but I'm gonna have to wrap up the fight talk, y'all. Sorry, but this was fucking phenomenal with my guy Ed. We talked about everything UFC related. Obviously, UFC 293 was a celebration. The peace, the birds are chirping. The world is back. World peace is back. All we need is that Kobe Covington championship. The evil Adesanya is crying in his grave. So yeah, can't be more happy. But hope you guys enjoyed Fight Talk. We'll be back, obviously after UFC 294 to talk about how Islam Makhachev put Charles Oliveira 12 feet under. But yeah, man. Say goodbye to my guy Ed, and also follow him on his Twitter. I have the link in his description. Like the stream, y'all better like the stream and share it if you haven't shared it. But yeah, Ed, say peace out to these guys.
All right, peace out, guys.